Kraskowiak and the Montana basketball team will make their debut tonight, sort of. The annual Maroon-Silver scrimmage is tonight inside the Adams Center. The event is a great way for fans to put names to faces and to get a sneak peek at what kind of style the team will play with this season. That's tonight at 7 o'clock, and we'll have highlights this evening at 10.
Let's talk a little basketball. We still have 4 games left of the Grizzlies' Big Sky Conference football season, so why are we talking basketball? Well, you're asking me, kind viewer. Why, it's time for the annual Maroon-Silver scrimmage. That's why, to Dahlberg Arena, and our first look at Larry Kraskowiak's team in game-like situations. Kevin Criswell, easy for me to say, to John Seifert for the slam, and it's 16 points for Seifert. In transition, Matt DeLuey with the tasty 2. He had 21 points to lead all scorers. That's why I said tasty 2. You get it now, yeah. Kevin Criswell with the stop and pop 3. He had 13 points on the night. I'm not telling you a score right now because they've just, well, players switch teams and you know all that stuff. DeLuey to Jordan Haskett. The freshman had 17 points on the night. Haskett with the reverse lay-in from Seifert, and then DeLuey to Kamar Davis. Ouch! Right there. If you really wanted to know, Maroon beat the white team, or the silver team, easy for me to say, 84-80.
College journey.
And defending Big Sky Conference champions, the Montana men hosting Utah Valley State tonight. Artsy, first meeting with Utah Valley State first half. From Missoula Sentinel, Jordan Haskett with the basket. Too easy. He had 9 tonight. Montana up 11-8. Now Haskett with a dish to Mike Chavez, 16-13 Grizzlies. But the Wolverines were tougher than adamantium. They wouldn't go away. Montana goes down by 6 points in the first half here. What's going to happen? It's Matt Martin responding. End-to-end rush. Throws up a prayer. Answered. Hallelujah. That puts Montana back on top for good. Martin and Andrew Strait led the team with 13 points apiece. Montana goes to 3-1. Next up, Stanford on Friday.
By 16 tonight, 75-59. So the
Griz football team verbal commitment. It will be official on signing day, which is February 2nd. His Billings rival Mark Desson verbal to the Cats. Their rivalry now spills over into Big Sky play. Well, on this big day for Coach Houck, 20 points last season, but they lost to Idaho State by 16 points this season. Plenty of Big Sky teams play them, and you have to be ready for the kids from Orem, Utah, and they played well tonight at Dahlberg Arena. Former Missoula Sentinel star Jordan Haskett made his first start tonight, took advantage, a good power move right there. Then the nice hook shot. He was 4 of 6 shooting, 9 points for Haskett. Griz up 3, but Utah Valley was lighting it up early. David Heck hits for 3. Utah Valley actually led by 6 at the midpoint of the first half. Heck led everyone with 19, but the Griz shot lights out again, 59% despite just this bucket from Kevin Criswell. The Griz rolls 75-59. After the game, Coach Kraskowiak said they weren't only shooting it well, they were passing it well.
Guys are playing, very unselfishly, and 25 assists in a ball game is over the top in terms of our goals, and we turned it over. We reached our goal of 14, so that's a nice ratio. It gets a little bit different here Friday night. There's going to be some bigger bodies and some stronger bodies, and it takes it up a whole nother level. So.
Also tonight, Weber State shocked by Southern Utah by 21-68.
Cardinal beat the Griz by 18 points last season. A Montana win tonight would be nothing short of spectacular, and that's why the house was packed. 6,921 fans. The Griz struck early. It was Jordan Haskett from Missoula for 3. Montana started the game with a 12-0 run. Matt Martin adds to it with another 3. 16-3 Montana. Martin pumps up the crowd. The Griz were 8 for 13 from 3. They got inside too. Matt DeLuey drive. They go up 25-12. More Griz. Virgil Matthews capped off the first half with 2 of his team high, 23 points, 44-31 Montana at the half. We'll go to the second. Stanford tried to get something going. After this right here, they're to within 9 points. But old Griz, Kamar Davis, was there to cheer on his team, and they didn't disappoint. Matt Martin on the fast break with 2 more. He had 12 tonight, 51-40 Griz. Montana was lights out, going 58% shooting from the field. Jordan Haskett was 6 for 7, 4 for 4 from 3, 20 points in all. The Griz win huge. Now 4-1 on the season. Great win The Lady Griz were the exact opposite, but she was 5 for 20 from the field. They play Long Beach at home December 10th. To girls prep hoops, since we started making rounds to teams, we have 3 starters, so what's the fuss? The Eagles are welcoming something big, something they haven't had in the past.
Hello, everyone. The upset of Stanford didn't go unnoticed by the Big Sky League office. The league announced Virgil Matthews is the Big Sky Player of the Week thanks to his 23-point effort against Stanford. Virgil was doing it all Friday, blocking shots, sending the fans into a frenzy, and of course, scoring a lot of points. In fact, his stat line was very impressive. He barely missed a triple-double, 23 points, 7 boards, and a career-high 8 assists. The Montana win was the first for a Big Sky school against the Pac-10 in 16 games. It's also Virgil's first Player of the Week award. Well, practice was upbeat today as the Griz prepare for tomorrow's game with Loyola Marymount. Coach Kristoviak is doing a good job of keeping these guys humble after the Stanford win. He was working with them hard today because this is no time to start expecting wins.
I think the environment in here Friday was fantastic, and you know, we can't count on that all the time. We can count on bringing some energy and defending and trying to make plays, and so it certainly hasn't been a part of our vocabulary. I don't think we're mature enough or good enough to let stuff like that creep into our mind.
Well,
if you were at the Montana and Stanford men's basketball game last Friday, it should be no surprise that this week's Big Sky Player of the Week honors goes to Montana's Virgil Matthews. The 6'3" senior guard from Washington scored a career-high 23 points and 8 assists in Montana's 88-69 romping over Stanford. Matthews also had 3 steals and this monster block. That block, folks, right there, gave Griz fans yet another reason to explode right out of their seats.
Really sums it up right there. Angie talking about playing with his heart. I mean, he's an emotional player. He finds a way to help us each and every night. He doesn't worry about scoring points. There's a lot of other areas of the game that are important to him, and he just finds a way to do a lot of the little stuff.
The 4-1 Grizzlies host Loyola Marymount tomorrow evening at Dahlberg Arena. Over to prep hoops now.
Is in Missoula to take on the Griz tonight. Montana beat LMU by 6 back on November 21st. When I think of Loyola Marymount, I think of the late Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball honoring his fallen teammate by shooting a free throw in the tournament with his eyes closed. They have not been to the tournament since the Kimball era in 1990. LMU was known for scoring points in bunches, but not lately. However, the Griz maintained tonight will be tough.
You can't really take one in particular player away and have much success. It's a well-rounded attack, and you know, it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us.
Robinson with a steal for the.
Originally thought a win tonight against Loyola Marymount, the Griz 5th in a row, would do just as much to prove these Grizzlies are for real. It's Pirates of the Caribbean night. Whoa, watch out there. Griz start fast again. Jordan Haskett on the break, 11-6 Grizzlies. Now let's see it one more time. A Loyola player this time is going to slip. Oh, icy patch. Virgil Matthews takes advantage. 13-9 Grizzlies. Now remember the ice, it looks like it spreads because the Griz go cold. Montana shot 62% in the first half against Stanford, only 34% in the first half tonight. Marymount would take advantage of these misses and take the lead by 1. Still first half, going to finish it off. Marymount holding on for the final shot. The finger roll goes in, and Coach K was livid at halftime. He must have said something as the Griz outscored the Lions by 17 in the second half. Andrew Strait and Kevin Criswell had 17 points apiece. That's 5 wins in a row.
In Bozeman, the Montana State men's
Tonight, those days are long gone. In fact, the Lions have not been to the tournament since 1990. The Griz looking to beat LMU for the 2nd time this season. 3,200 fans showed up tonight, and the Griz did not disappoint. Big Sky Player of the Week, Virgil Matthews, gets things started with the dunk. 10 points, 9 boards for Virgil. But Loyola Marymount played an inspired first half. John Ziri buries the 3. It's just a 28-27 Griz lead at the break. Second half, the Griz took over Andrew Strait, the nice reverse. He had a solid 17.8 board night, and they cap it with the lob to Matt DeLuey. And the Grizzlies win it 79-61. After the game, Matt Martin says the homestand was good to his team.
Let's have a few games at home and playing in front of good crowds. You know, people are really getting into it. Student section really helping out a lot. Give them a lot of credit for really getting us hyped up.
Matt Martin.
Tennis News Station.
Hello everyone. The Griz men's basketball team is not a secret anymore. 2 national polls have the Griz on the radar screen. 7 straight wins will do that. The Griz won the Drake tournament this past weekend. Montana is taking better care of the ball this season, and they are shooting lights out. It's an impressive machine right now, and that machine also has a bench.
So it's nice. We've got our team healthy, really for the first time. I think Jordan Haskett's getting into condition, and DeLuey's ankle seems to be healed. So this is the first time of the year really where we can kind of throw everybody out there and see what happens. Well, I don't know that we've played a really good ball game, you know, real intense and getting after it. So I want our guys to think about this week as an opportunity to have some practices under their belt, kind of find some new energy.
The mid-major poll is out, and the Griz are ranked 25th this week. They can likely improve their status even further.
In the middle of a timeout, and rather than trying to pretend like I had much to say, I just kind of resorted back to a little old-fashioned baby temper tantrum.
Clipboards everywhere, be afraid. And welcome back for sports. Coach Kristoviak's self-described temper tantrum during a timeout against Drake University on Saturday resulted in a broken clipboard and then an overtime win for the Griz. Their 7th in a row. Big Sky Conference teams, be afraid. A 7-1 record is the best among Big Sky teams, and it marks the Grizzlies' best record to start a season in more than a decade. But still, nice as the win streaks are, the focus remains on the bigger picture.
I like the fact that, you know, our fans are enjoying it and we're successful. I mean, it's crazy to think that people don't like to win. But, you know, with our team, we have some deficiencies right now that haven't necessarily been exposed. So for us as a coaching staff, we need to keep driving them and keep getting better, and hopefully the wins will keep coming. But really those wins and losses are just something you look at, you know, when the year's over to count them all up. It's more about getting to that March Madness.
This won't get them to March Madness, but the Montana men are being recognized in the mid-major men's basketball poll. And Montana is 25th this week. What is a mid-major team? In short, a team that doesn't belong to a major basketball conference like the Pac-10. Used to being on top are the Lady Griz, 4-2 overall with a win over Long Beach State on Saturday.
Hello everyone. Western is in Missoula to take on the Griz tonight. On paper and likely on the court, this is an obvious mismatch. Western is 4-7 on the season, but Carroll almost beat the Bobcats, showing the Frontier Conference has some talent. The Griz are going to use this game to work on some things. This game is sandwiched between the Iowa and California trips. Montana simply wants to play well and get a win tonight.
You know, it's a challenge to play anytime you're playing, and I know Mark does a nice job there, so their guys will be ready to go. But it's really, we need to focus on ourselves, not worry about who we're playing, and just kind of find a more consistent approach to it. You know, between that game Wednesday night and finals, we don't have a whole lot of things to think about here for the next few weeks.
Western's trip to Missoula marks the return of former Hellgate star Charlie Cox. Cox is averaging 16 points a game, has 76 assists, and does start for Western. Charlie Cox back in Missoula to take on the Griz tonight. Interesting storyline. Well, the Altitude Network has announced it will televise the Griz game at Pocatello, Idaho against the red-hot Idaho State Bengals on February 4th. That is a Saturday, and the game time has been changed to 4:35 to accommodate the television coverage. The Griz and Idaho State on Altitude February 4th. Well, you know, with Cox, McGillis and company...
Men's basketball. Altitude Sports will broadcast their game at Idaho State on February 4th. Way before that, the Grizzlies game tonight against Montana Western.Maybe not a tester, but a good chance to work on their weakness.
We need to come out with a lot more focus on defense than we have. It's been a little bit of our Achilles heel. We're up near the top in most of the offensive categories, but you know, near the bottom in the defensive categories. So I almost think that the offense at times has come pretty easy, and it's, you know, translated into the other end of the floor where we want to keep that easiness going, and it needs to be a lot more sense of purpose.
We'll see if last year's Montana Gatorade Player of the Year, Charlie Cox from Hellgate High, can give the Griz defense some work. Cox averages 16 a game for Montana Western. That's second best on the team. The Lady Griz straight would be great for the Montana men's basketball team, playing NAIA Montana Western tonight. Maybe not a tester, but I'll tell you this much. Western would score more points against the Grizzlies tonight than Stanford did, leaving it up to the Griz offense. Once again, Alan Sines got some good news today. We'll tell you about that later in the show. Smaller schools tend to have smaller players. Now watch this. 1 miss, 2 miss. Redfish, bluefish. Virgil Matthews gets it on the 4th try, and the Griz lead 6-2. But Western will make a game of it early. Wes Morales is going to hit for 3. His little sister is none other than the Lady Grizzlies' Mandy Morales. She's rooting for the other side. Then fresh out of Hellgate High School, Charlie Cox. He puts up 2. He had 16 points tonight. Western within a basket. Eventually, the Griz would pick it up. Criswell to straight. He had 20 points tonight. Criswell led the Griz with 21. But the highlight of the night, Matt DeLuey. This one's good, but the next one is going to be even better. That was so vicious, I think DeLuey stole his soul. 8 wins in a row for the Grizzlies. 110 points is the second most in the history of the program. Like I said, 8 in a row. They play UC Riverside on Monday. As for the ladies,
Make the second go in and keep a guy from scoring a layup. It's important to not hurt him, and I felt like there maybe was a couple plays where guys were knocking into us and they weren't too concerned about where we landed. But that's up to the discretion of the officials. I was just nervous it could get out of hand.
Game got
men looking to make it 8 wins in a row since losing their season opener to Boise State. The Griz taking on Montana Western tonight in Missoula, and we'll get right to the highlights. Alan Sines in attendance today as he was named a football third-team All-American. First half, Jordan Hasquet leaves it for Andrew Strait, who hits the lay-in. Strait would finish with 20. Later, Matt DeLuey finds Kevin Criswell, who hits the 3, but Criswell would return the favor. DeLuey hits the tray this time. The Griz would go up 9. Former Hellgate Knight Charlie Cox, now in Montana Western, he drops this one in, cuts the lead to 4. However, the Griz would respond. Criswell drives, hits the floater. This one turns out to be a blowout. Griz win 110-71. To the North American Hockey League, and
as last night, the sophomore lit up UC Riverside for 31 points. Strait is really coming into his own and turning into a dominant player. So much has been made about his physical work in the weight room, but his basketball skills are also improved.
Well, part of it's his maturing, I think. Just the metabolism starts to slow as you get a little older. He put a lot of work in the weight room. I know that for sure. And I think just the fact that he's not a freshman anymore. He's a little more confident knowing what we're expecting, where his little niches are, where he can score. He's a smart player. So those things all combined is he's having a pretty productive sophomore season.
You think Crisco's doing the right thing at Montana? Well, he has a higher RPI right now than Kentucky, Louisville, Wake Forest, and Kansas. Easily the highest RPI in the Big Sky. If they beat Santa Clara this week and Wisconsin-Milwaukee next week, that number will skyrocket. Certainly some impressive numbers there. For those of you out there who like to second-guess coaches, how about referencing the Joe basketball team has a tough road game tonight. The Griz are at Santa Clara. It might actually sound tougher than it is, though. Montana's RPI is 65 points higher than Santa Clara's. The Broncos are only 5-4. Montana has been getting solid bench play during their 9-game winning streak. They will need that again tonight. And can Jordan Hasquet heat up again? He says his off-season work has him ready.
Well, if we get a little more committed to defense, we can turn it on and probably go somewhere pretty big. I don't know. We can keep playing how we're playing. We're just going to have to improve D, and our offense is pretty good now, but we're sharing the ball and just kind of stick with that.
Also tonight, the Bobcats host Denver. Montana State has been a story of struggle this season.
I've never heard of them either. Tonight's game is a rematch from a season ago when, in the waning seconds against Santa Clara with the game tied up at 75, Santa Clara's Doran Perkins stripped the ball from Matt DeLuey and scored to go up by 2 points. Kevin Criswell had a last chance to win it with a three-pointer. He missed it. Old graphics. Santa Clara won by 2. Payback in Santa Clara will be tough. The Broncos are only a game over 500, but 4 losses were on the road against the likes of Mississippi State, Oregon, North Carolina, and the UC Irvine Anteaters. Santa Clara quick fact, the reigning NBA MVP Steve Nash played for the Broncos until 1996. Large waves this week, so in surfing terms, a win against Santa Clara and the Griz would be hanging 10. 10 wins in a row, 10-1 on the season. They do it. Hang 10. The Grizzlies made only 9 turns.
It
It may be the season of giving, but the Griz Hoops team is surprising many in college basketball this year. The team has one non-conference game left with Wisconsin-Milwaukee before they open Big Sky play. The Griz are 10-1 right now. They're off to their best start since 93-94 when they went 13-0. Three players average double digits in scoring. Sophomore Andrew Strait leads the way with almost 17 points per game. The team is out-shooting, out-rebounding, and out-stealing their opponents while scoring almost 80 points a game. Montana returns to action Friday with the aforementioned Wisconsin-Milwaukee Panthers in town. Success is contagious.
Should be excited about. The Montana men's Grizzly basketball team lost their first game but have rebounded by pouring on a 10-game win streak. This week, Andrew Strait is the big man on campus by picking up co-Big Sky Player of the Week honors with Eastern Washington's Rodney Stuckey. Strait, a sophomore from Yakima, Washington, is averaging 22 points and 5 rebounds a game. The Grizzlies will hit the court next when they take on Wisconsin-Milwaukee Friday night. The Panthers, by the way, made an appearance in last year's Sweet 16. This year, they carry a 6-3 record heading into Friday night's contest. Basketball team lost their first game but have rebounded nicely by unleashing a 10-game win streak. This week, Andrew Strait is the big man on campus by picking up co-Big Sky Player of the Week honors with Eastern Washington's Rodney Stuckey. Strait, a sophomore from Yakima, Washington, is averaging 22 points and 5 rebounds a game. The Grizzlies will hit the court next
to prepare for what could be the toughest team to visit Dahlberg Arena all year. Montana stands at 10-1 with a number of quality wins along the way, but Friday the Griz host Wisconsin-Milwaukee, a team that ran to the Sweet 16 last season. This year the Panthers are 6-3 with 4 returning starters. 3 players average double digits in scoring. Coach Larry Kristoviak has to shake any rust off his players for the final non-conference test of the season.
It's probably good mentally. I know it is for the staff to be able to get away, and probably as much as anything, those guys getting a break from us. You know, the players having us off their back for a while, and we're all coming in with a smile on our face, and we're ready to go.
Also today, the Big Sky Conference named Andrew Strait co-player of the week. Strait averaged 22 points, 5 rebounds, and a block in Montana's wins over UC Riverside and Santa Clara. He also leads the Grizzlies in scoring with almost 17 points a game. The ladies got things going today as
and more importantly, get ready for Friday's game.
We've been going a little bit more intense, you know, coming back from Christmas break, kind of blowing the pipes out a little bit, and after we had those 4 days off, we need to get back to the gym, and we're really trying to get focused mentally and on the court. So, yeah, I mean, there's some stuff we got to polish up, you know.
Polishing up for Wisconsin
has done is quickly and quietly built a great men's basketball program. The highlight this season, the win at home over Stanford, an atmosphere that brought back memories for Jim.
Reminded me so much when I was a student here, having been one of the members of the old zoo, and the craziness that surrounded it. I mean, it was a special night.
What made it so special was the energy and amount of people in the stands, something Jim thinks will become more consistent.
I believe it's coming. You know, I've talked to a number of different people, and they always said style of play will bring people here. And Larry and his staff bring in a great style of play.
What makes watching a team even more appealing is winning. And if the men continue to do that, they'll make Jim's second 6 months on the job even better than his first. In Missoula, Bob Bahanian for the Montana Sports Network.
Switches to the men tomorrow as the Grizzlies host Wisconsin-Milwaukee for a big mid-major matchup at Dahlberg Arena. The 7-3 Panthers reached the Sweet 16 last year. They show no signs of slowing down with 4 returning starters. Wisconsin-Milwaukee ranked 16th in the mid-major polls. Montana is 14th. Though the Grizzlies haven't lost since their regular season opener 11 games ago, the team hasn't played in a week. Coach Larry Kristoviak says the team is back in the groove, though, after the short holiday break.
Guys should have had their batteries charged up a little bit, had a chance to focus on everybody's little station, that, you know, part of this team, our staff, our players, everybody.
To the quality of the men's opponent tomorrow night, Wisconsin-Milwaukee, a Sweet 16 team from a year ago that lost only 1 player from their roster.
It's a really good team, best team that I will witness here as an assistant and a head coach the last 4 years. Involved. They're just, you know, from a fan's point of view, a lot of the fans are saying, oh, it should be really fun. And I guess from a fan's point of view, it would be interesting to watch. From a coach's point of view, it's a little bit of a headache.
Wisconsin-Milwaukee is ranked 16th in the mid-major poll. The Griz are 14th. The game is being dubbed as the Battle of the Mid-Majors. Over to football.
Wisconsin-Milwaukee is bigger than the Stanford game for the Griz. When they beat Stanford, they beat a big name. If they win tonight, they would beat a really good team. A win tonight would also mean great things in March when seeds come out. Wins over Stanford, Santa Clara, and if they could get one tonight, could make as much as a 2-seed difference on Selection Sunday if they win the Big Sky. It could basically sew up an NIT bid if they somehow didn't win the conference tournament. This, more than any game to date, would legitimize what the Griz have been doing. Coach Kristoviak says nothing will be easy.
Well, I've watched a couple of tapes on the little Christmas vacation, and they're as talented as team as this arena is going to see this year. Probably has seen in the last couple of years. Really solid perimeter game, solid guys inside. They were a Sweet 16 team last year and have 4 starters back. So it's real potent. It's going to be a heck of a challenge for us.
To put it in perspective, let's look at the updated power rankings, which in hoops world means RPI. Milwaukee is 23rd. The Griz are 93 with the strength of schedule at 306. The strength of schedule goes way up tonight, and a win would make the actual power ranking skyrocket as well. Also, for perspective on how well the Griz are playing, Big Sky favorite Montana State has a powerless ranking of 276 after losing at home last night to North Dakota.
Like a 10-game steamroll. The closest win is 6 points. The average margin of victory, 18 points. But against Wisconsin-Milwaukee tonight, a 1-point victory will take everything they have.
We're really going to need to be disciplined defensively, and we're going to be needing to be disciplined offensively. It's one of those games that I think the possessions get magnified. You know, hopefully it's a close ball game and we'll have an opportunity to make some plays down the stretch. But they just have so many weapons to expose you. Everyone on our team that's on the floor needs to be ready to go and needs to be on task.
Highlights tonight. But did you also know that they haven't lost at home since January 15th of 2005, a span of 12 games, and a win tonight would probably be the biggest of them all. Win or break didn't matter. Attendance tonight, 7,200. Milwaukee was good as advertised. The alley-oop, and the Panthers lead 15-10. But wait a minute, the alley-oop, that's Matt DeLuey's turf. There you go, get it back. The Griz down 20-21. Montana shot 59% in the first half, but they were still down 37-39. Milwaukee shot 56%. Crosby, Stills, or Nash, I can never tell. Second half, the torrid pace continues. Milwaukee 3-ball, the Panthers lead by 4. Back and forth, straight with 2 of his team high, 23 points. Griz down by 1. Now Jordan Haskett, great effort, and the Griz are up 62-61, 7 minutes left. Babies are so excited they're trying to walk. Down to the wire, Matt Martin falls on the ball. It's 76-74 Milwaukee, 18 seconds left. Matt Martin takes the shot, ill-advised. Coach K is beside himself.
Out of the game right here, down 1, he buries a 3 with just over a minute to go. He had crowd favorite with Griz basketball fans. The coaches have invested a lot of time in Mike, and he has not only stayed eligible but is contributing solid minutes to the team. Mike was out of competitive basketball the last 2 seasons, and it would have been easy for him to give up, but he has not. Griz assistant Wayne Tinkle, among others on the staff, did their best to ensure Mike remained focused on getting back, and it has worked. His ability was never in question. This kid can play, and he's a likable kid, which makes his return to the roster not only satisfying for Mike, but the team as well. I sat down with Mike today, and it's clear he is on the right track.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. It's been a while, and slowly getting all the rust off, and it's been fun so far. So I think we're playing pretty good. I think we're confident going in. All the guys are. It's been a while since I've played in the Big Sky Conference, but I'm pretty confident we're going to do good.
Oh, what a great story. Another great story.
New station.
Set for the start of conference play. They enter conference play as the favorite to win the league. Coach Larry Kristoviak has brought passion and winning back to Grizzly basketball. Both factors have also brought the fans back. Montana has packed the house twice. The players say it's because of Coach K.
Yeah, he's done a good job of getting the community involved and just having us thinking that we can win every game. So I think he did a good job at that.
It's been fun to see the fans back for basketball, and the Griz football team.
Playing for is to win our conference championship, try to host the tournament, and go on from there.
Conference play starts tomorrow. Here's how the men's teams have done up to this point. The Bobcats were picked to win the conference, especially to anyone out there who was watching tonight's Rose Bowl. The least we can say about Montana men's basketball